to travel around the world for free? In fact, do you want to get paid to travel around the world? Then watch this video! At 23, I was super confused about my career. I had no clear-cut goals. I was super uncertain about my future, and I was super sensitive towards all of the challenges that I faced. One thing I badly wanted to do was travel around the world. One day, when I was watching an India versus Pakistan cricket match, I had a thought after which the match was no longer interesting to me. The thought was, all of these cricket players get to travel around the world for free. In fact, they get paid to travel doing what they love. It was not only cricketers but any performers who did world tours, any business leaders who expanded their business, or any individual who was great at whatever they did. The world was super happy to have them. I decided I want to be one amongst them. Started working on myself, published a book, spoke in more than 1,000 seminars, and interacted with more than 25,000 plus people across the country. I still believe that I have not even scratched the surface of my potential, and all of these things could just happen because of one thought. Don't only travel to see the world, travel so that the world can see you, and let the world not miss out on the most beautiful thing, you!
So welcome you all to my new podcast show. So what's your story? And hey there, this is Pavana here, ambassador at College Innovator, founder of Kanti Kranti, and an author of book Master of Life. And today we have an amazing speaker who is just 28 year, and he's having a mission of helping individuals to dream big and be bold in their life, and could able to impact over 25,000 plus individual, and also an author of two amazing books, The Rhythm of Silence and Life Super Guru, and also top 10 speaker in the super speaker reality show of SuccessGyan. So welcome you, Ruthuparna Sharma, to this podcast show, and thank you so much for having you in the show. Welcome you.
Thank you so much, Pavana. Firstly, for that energetic introduction. Two, for the beautiful smile and grace through which you introduced me. I feel absolutely blessed to be here.
Thank you so much. And we are super excited to know your story. What's your journey? So how it all started, right? So how did it all started, and what is that made you to support people in living their life, going to their dream? So have you ever felt like it's not going to work, or how it all started?
Absolutely, that is the first step towards doing anything, right? Basically, if I have to start right from the age of 18, I had one wish, that is, I want to be an entrepreneur, because this one term was very fancy to answer to anybody, right? So when people used to ask me, what is it that you want to be? I always used to answer, I want to be an entrepreneur. So the next question people used to ask was, okay, very good. You want to be an entrepreneur. What business do you want to do? Immediately, the answer I used to give was, I don't know, right? Because I loved that fancy term. And not that I have searched a number of times on Google, 17 ways to start a new business without investment with which you will get full returns, right? All these Google searches also I have done. But at the age of 18, I thought event management is something that I can be good at, because I loved organizing things. I'm more of a people kind of a person. So I thought I could connect with people very well. And that's where I started an event management company along with my BCom. So along with that, along with my BCom, along with also CA courses that I had taken up, I also started off with an event management company. So event management company went on for a long period of time, for about 2 to 3 years. And in this 2 to 3 years, I got to do a couple of events for, a certain organization, certain team building activities and all of these things. And I also got a contract to do a wedding. So all of these things were fancy because one thing was, I wanted to at least have my own pocket money. So this was one of the intentions I started off with. But over a period of time, what I realized was there is a lot that goes through in an event. From outside, what we get to see is, it's very easy, we can do it off and all of these things. But there is a lot of things that, you need to invest in all of these things. But the production wise and all of these things, I was not ready to handle it. So when this all of these things was there, I thought, okay, let me do something else, and that is where I got into network marketing. Network marketing was easy, right? It taught me a lot of lessons, but also, one of the things in India is we think network marketing is a scam, right? Many of the times when we go to approach, it's a scam, but that is what I think pushed me. I thought, when people say no, you got to tell them what is right, what is wrong, and all of these things. For about 2 years, I did that, and that is where I got exposure to teaching, speaking, and all of these things. So when I got exposure to this is something that I started loving. This is something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. This one feeling was there, but still no certainty was there, right? And I thought, okay, this is the right time for me to quit network marketing, because many of the times, many of the companies then were becoming scams. I don't want to name the company and all of these things, but they were becoming a scam. A lot of cases and all of these things started. So I thought, okay, right time to quit. I quit that, and I started my teaching journey. I started going to schools. I started going to colleges. I used to tell them that I want to do programs on communication. I want to do programs on attitude. So immediately they used to tell, first, have you seen your face, right? So that time I used to go full shave. That is, I had a full shave look. I used to go. They were like, you only look like student, what will you teach? You go out. Right. So this was one of the response I always used to get. And there were a lot of rejections, and in the midst of all of these things, there was a point where I felt absolutely low, because whatever I aspire to do, whatever I want to do, it's not working out, right? So this was the time where I felt very low. I did not know what is it that I have to do. But during the times where I felt low, during the times where I did not know what is it that I want to do, during the times when people were giving all sorts of suggestions and all of these things, I realized what is the importance of positivity. What is the importance of having the right kind of energy, right? During all of these courses, I decided, okay, let me start it off by anyways, right? Right from childhood, one thing that I loved doing was listening to stories from grandparents, right? I used to love listening to. I'm sure everybody would love listening to stories of grandparents, right? So I used to ask, how was their village life? What is it that they did? How is it that each and every one of them ate a fruit also, right? Things like watermelon and all. It was a festival if one watermelon had come to a family, right? So all of these stories, I really loved it. And when I started looking at a lot of people, one thing that always inspires me is people and their stories. So I started writing those stories on Facebook. One by one stories. It got started getting good responses. That is where I got exposed to something called as a blog. Then one of my friends saw all of these things and told, "Hey, yen maga, full bariya kela shuru ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಯಾ? Class ಅಲ್ಲಿ, school ಅಲ್ಲಿ, you never kept or maintained notes and all of these things." So I was like, yeah, but that one thought of making a difference or writing a book stuck onto my head. I thought, okay, this is something that I've never done. Let me give it a shot. So about 5 days, I went on a solo trip. Just stayed with myself. It was just me and book. And many of the times, this is one of my learnings. Okay, I wish to share that anytime, if you want to do any work and if we have 100% focus towards it without any distraction, 100% it will happen, right? For me, my only intention was I want to publish a book, not that it should become bestseller and all of these things. 30 stories should not go. So 30 stories I wrote, I made it into a book. In God's grace, it reached a lot of people. It also reached one of the directors of Oxford bookstores, and it got launched in Oxford bookstores, Delhi. So that is where I got my first offer to be a professor at Jain. So that is where my teaching journey began, right? And once teaching journey began, I started understanding stories of a lot of students. I started understanding myself, because in journey of teaching, one thing for sure is more than what we teach, we also learn a lot of things, right? We also learn a lot about ourselves. So when it was a journey of learning, it was this is where I decided, okay, let me start scaling. So 1 year I worked there for about 1 year. Then I started being on my own. That journey was also difficult, but now if we come here after, especially after this finals of super speaker, I feel okay, it was a beautiful journey. But during all of these journeys, there were definitely a lot of questions I asked myself. Many of the times when I used to tell people dream big, dream bold, I only used to question, okay, all of these things are there, but my life only is not happening right now. But every time I think it's not about falling every time you feel challenges or you feel challenged, but every time you feel challenged, how you come out of that challenge is what that makes a difference. So my aim, my mission is this: dreaming is free of cost, whether your dream is small, medium sized, or big. Free only, no, right? You don't have to spend a rupee. So when it is free, you choose the best. Now I'll ask you one question: whether what do you want? I'll give you free of cost. I'll give you a Maruti 800. I'll give you a Honda City. I'll give you a Mercedes Benz. What do you want?
Definitely Mercedes Benz.
You will choose a Mercedes Benz. Similarly, dream. Dream is also small size is there, medium size is there, big dream is there. We all can dream. No cost involved. Choose big dreams. So I thought, let me share this message to the world, and that's how I began.
Yeah, that's an amazing, like, inspiring story as well. But for a lot of people, like, it's specifically this young minds think whenever we want to write a book, I don't have any story, or my story is not inspiring, or what do I write in a book? So this is the big question. Like, I remember when I wrote my book, I had the same question in my mind before writing. Okay, what is that I'm going to write? I don't have any inspiring story, or will people get inspired with my book? So, is that this questions came to you? So, how did your journey of becoming an author happen?
See, I'll tell you, my English even today is bad. I will very openly agree to that, right? So even today, I've been improving, but where I was to where I am, I only get to know the difference. But when I started off my journey, my only intention was anything new that, see, maybe even when you are seeing an Instagram post, some new thought will get stuck onto your mind. But what happens if we don't make a note of it? Then we will lose it forever, right? So I decided, okay, let me start making a note of things that I feel are awesome, right? So it can be certain stories, it can be some people, the way they saw life, all of these things. When I met people then and there, it felt absolutely inspiring. So that is where I started making notes of it. Sometimes, when I was just sitting, one of the favorite things I love doing is, I just, love to drive. And I take my car out, I go for a drive, and when I go for a drive, I start observing. I know this is not supposed to be reaching any police officers especially, but one of the things I do is I also keep observing here, there, everywhere, right? Because there are some beautiful things that you witness which can teach you life like crazy. Like, for example, when I was driving once, I was just seeing how a mother was calling her child, and she was teaching it walking, right? So she was like, come, 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 come. When the child reached the mother, next she increased the level, right? She told, now go 2 more steps behind and start walking, right? This is what is life, is what I felt. A comparison that just happened. In life also presents one challenge. Once we clear it, we feel life is no more filled with challenges, but we'll get bigger challenges. It's only with the intention for us to grow. So this was one of my observation which I made a note. There are n number of such observations that we can have of people, of things, of nature, when we look at anything. So these things I did not want to let it go, so that's why I started making notes of all of these things, right? So that's the intention for me to write. And for anybody who wants to write, I think one of the best inspirations there ever is nature. Maybe if I'm at my home, I'll not be able to write, but if I maybe go for a again trip again in the midst of nature, I think it is not you who write, but it is the energy which makes you write, right? So I don't know, many of the times when I look at it, it's been 4 years now. I've been pushing myself for another book, but I feel the right time should come. And when I look back and when I look at that book, I feel 4 years back, how did I write all of these things? I only didn't know I had so many thoughts and all of these things. So it's an energy that writes through us. I think we have to tune to that energy of the universe.
Yeah, that's so true, right? So everybody have their story, and everybody will be able to find that story. So it's just that they need to make that effort and put that effort forward as well. And so in this journey, so have you? This is the biggest problem for a lot of people. They want to start, and as you said, so entrepreneurship feels so fancy. They really want to start, but For a lot of people, before starting itself, they will be having a lot of fears, and also they will be feeling like this is going to work, or before starting itself, a lot of people will quit. So have you ever felt in your journey of okay, this is not going to work, so, or have you ever felt like quitting, or how did you handle that situations?
Definitely, I felt like quitting. If I tell as I'm a motivational speaker, I'm 100% motivated always. I know I'll only be faking it, right? Definitely, I felt like quitting all of these times. But you know, when people talk, or when you feel low, or when there are setbacks, it's okay to absolutely feel low. But I don't know about this comparison, right? Believe that there is this inner voice within each and every one of us, right? So for event management, when I quit, I did not feel anything, right? But every time in this journey of being a speaker, when I wanted to quit, there was this in one inner voice which told, give one more attempt, try one more time, give it one more shot, it's worth it, it's okay, give it one last shot, nothing will happen, take this one more attempt. This inner voice always kept on telling that, right? So if that inner voice kept on telling, if that inner voice always believed, I thought, okay, let me give it one more shot. And recently in this super speaker journey, I came third place, right? So when I got that third place, I just told my inner voice, for you always believing in me, this is my gift to you, right? And thank you, right? Similarly, I think every one of us will have that inner voice which will believe in us, right? Which actually keeps on pushing us, which actually tells us that we are something more than what we think we are. And every time, I think we got to trust that instinct. No matter what challenges comes, we need to go ahead, face those. And every time when we win, I think also it is one dedication we need to have to our own inner voice, right? So
Right, so that is exactly true, right? So sometimes it says, okay, so you need to do this, this is what you love, right? So you need to just go for that. So in your entire journey, so if you have to share these three secrets, okay, these three secrets really worked out to you, and it's going to work, and this is what I have learned from my mentor. So you need to learn from the one who have already done it, right? So that is exactly clear. What is that three secret you would love to share, which will definitely work for a lot of people who are looking for this right opportunity, who want to do something in their life, but still have that fear of, okay, things will not work. So, what is that three secret you would like to share?
So when I wrote my secret number one is when I wrote my this Life Super Guru book. I mean, Life Super Guru is a translation of In the Rhythm of Silence. But the first line of that I've only written. What I've written is this: ನನ್ನ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಎರಡೇ, ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೂಪರ್ ಗುರು ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಿಸಲು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಲೈಫೇ ಸೂಪರ್ ಗುರು ಎಂದು ತಿಳಿಸಲು. That means to make you tell life super guru every time, no matter what happens, I want to see to that at least positivity comes out of you. Today we are alive, this moment we are witnessing, no matter what challenges are there, right? We at least have an edge over many people in this world. So life super guru, no problem to tell that. Two, you tell me, Pavana, haven't we all learned from life itself? And some of the best lessons that we have learned, that we have executed, that we have implemented in our life is what life has taught us. So, yes, I truly believe that when each and every one of us are unique, we'll have our own ways. Right? Yes, we can learn from people, but we'll have our own ways. So, what is it that we can do? Every time we go through an experience, I think it's time for us to introspect. That is what most of us don't do, right? Most of us repeat the same mistake that we keep on doing. So if we are able to sit with ourselves and see to that, how is it that I can improve? How is it that I can better myself? How is it that I can grow? I think life itself can give us that answers. I myself can be a very good coach. I'm not telling this to get ego, but I'm telling you, when everyone are unique, everyone will also have their own ways. So it's time to just sit with oneself, introspect, and learn and grow on an everyday basis. So number one is that one statement, right? Kannada statement. Even the life super guru in the head. So every time tell life super guru, and always realize that the best guru of your life is your life itself. Two is this: I love to travel, right? So I love to travel. And this is one statement that I share to all places I go. I'm sure many people will also agree that they also want to travel. They also want to see the world and all of these things. When we want to travel, I just want to change the intention of or purpose of reason behind travel. We all travel. What is the budget? Where is it that we can enjoy everything? No problem with that. But if we also look at some great celebrities, personalities, they travel around the world, they earn money and come back. Virat Kohli travels, plays, earns money, comes back. Also sees the place, comes back. Whereas most of us go, spend money there, come back, right, bro? So one day I just wrote this one statement: don't only travel to see the world, travel so that the world can see you, right? So this one statement is what I always tell to myself. Do something to that extent where the world will want to start having you, right? And when you start adding value to people, when you start adding to world, or when you do something that's very good, the world will want you, right? So that time you can also travel to see the world will also be happy to see you. So two-way victory is there. So one is learn lessons from life. Two is always um, travel so that the world can see you. Third one is how I start my day. I think that is how you start your day makes a lot of difference. uh, just to give a perspective, have you been in that situation where the first thing in a day goes wrong and subsequently many things start going wrong, right? Also there are situations where the first thing goes right and next many things goes right, so we feel okay, day is very good or day is very bad, so we conclude. What does that mean? It's just like a slide, right? So you are in the middle when you start your day. Where do you want to jump? Many of the times we jump mostly to the negative side, because as soon as we wake up we see WhatsApp, one dirty message is there, gone, right? First step you have kept it towards negative, 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 it goes. Or if you keep your first step towards positive, you start jumping or sliding towards positivity. So every day we can make it count by starting your day positively. So how do you start your day makes all the difference. So I have my own things. Most of the times I wake up early, I go for a jog, and I come back. And when I go for a jog, I use my earphones, I put some positive music. Sometimes when there is no music, I think nature itself is a positivity. There's some serene, calm silence, especially in 6, not 8 o'clock and all, especially if you're in Bangalore, right? Or any other city, right? So how you start your day makes a lot of difference. So learn from life, do something so unique that the world will want you. And lastly is this: how you start your day makes a lot of difference. Make every day count.
Exactly. So that's exactly will work for everybody, right? So once they start doing it, right? So, and right now, so it's been 1 year going becoming a part of Super Speaker and also being in that final stage, right? So what is that you learned, and have you ever thought like so you will be in that top 10 and being there, being with the mentors? So your experience with Super Speaker.
So that has been a very fabulous experience to share with. Okay, so first of all, I was so excited when I saw this new initiative. I think all credit goes to the organizers, SuccessGyan, Suren, and the entire team. They were absolutely fabulous. Because for singing there is a reality show, for dance there is a reality show, there is recognition that they get. For us, we'll only have to create that recognition. And most probably most of us, what we do, we put all of these content on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I can very openly share this. I think let me be brutally honest. When we share these more of positive content and all of these things, and wherein there are people who also share entertainment gets the first preference, not learning, right? But when this was announced, I felt absolutely good. At least we are getting one good recognition, no? In front of entertainment. So that is where I thought, okay, let me give it a shot. Trust me, I had no idea. So when I gave it a shot, one of the things was, that was announced was the winner of this will be empaneled directly with the SuccessGyan team. That is something that I was looking forward for, because, if we can do it on merit, I think that is something that's awesome. So I always prefer anything should come to you on merit and not we should chase them. So I thought, okay, let me start putting an effort. So I did my first video. I remember it was speaking about success, what success means to me. So I thought, in this entire journey, let me be original. Whatever I am, let me be that, not try to be anything else. And what I learned the most was the way we present makes a lot of difference. So if you look at it, my very first video was just shot with a phone, right? So I shot my very first video with a phone, no background music, no editing, just posted it. The second video, I got it shot in a studio. So I realized that out of 40,185, top 250 were selected. I started looking at all 250, all were amazing. So in order to stand out from this, again, what is important is your content and presentation of the content. How you present makes a lot of difference. So second time I got it shot in a studio. The third time was from 100 to 10, that is 250 to 100 was selected. 100 to 10, I knew it was going to be something that was going to be very difficult. Here is where I thought, okay, if I come till 100, then okay. So when I was thinking about this, we had to share our story. So I mean, little bit, I don't know how is it that we can share our story and all of these things, but I thought presentation should be extraordinary, story should be original. Only two things is what I concentrated on. And, we shot it in an outdoor location. I had my friend, we took a drone shot and all of these things. Just that I felt that the competition needed all of those things. So top 10. And in top 10, it was a fabulous experience. I think meeting all of the top 10, being with the jury, people whom you looked up to, people who were already there, wherever we aim to be, people who are already there, meeting them, their sweetness, the organizers, everything was a fabulous experience. And I think, uh, the entire journey was fabulous. In finals, what we have prepared and what we spoke were two different things. That is secondary because of all the tensions and all of these things. But the entire journey made a lot of difference. It was fabulous experience. I think, I would definitely recommend you and everybody else who are also watching this to give it a shot, because only when we try, this is something I wrote recently. When we try something new that we have never done before, we discover something new about ourselves that we never knew before, right? So try new things. When we try new things, we'll definitely learn something new about ourselves. So it's about how we will try to stand out, and how unique we are, how real we are, that can make all the difference. So this is my learning.
Yeah, and it was also an amazing journey. So even we were all able to watch, like, so how the entire transformation happened, and how people really, when they started, the person they were, and when they came back, it was a total different people. And lastly, that one message you want to share to whoever watching this. Okay, this might be really a life changing thing for them. So if they take it real in serious way, right? So, and that one message you would love to share, that maybe it can change their life. What is that one message you want to share to those who are looking for that right opportunity to grow themselves?
So when you have that trigger, when you have that motivation to do anything, there will be a lot of people who will stop you. During those times, I want you to remember one statement that I wrote in Kannada. I'll also translate in English. So I wrote, ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡೋವರೆಗೂ 1,000 ಜನ 1,000 ತರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ 1,000 ಜನ ನಮ್ ಸಾಧನೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, right? Which means till we achieve something, a lot of people will talk to you, a lot of people will talk about you, but once you achieve something, a lot of people will start talking about your success, right? So when others comment, when others put you down, just stay there. You focus on what work you got to do. Definitely, when you put continuous effort over a long period of time, and when you don't give up, when you listen to that inner voice which actually says, or if it believes in you and if it tells to give it one more shot, give it one more attempt during all challenges, listen to it. And that is where I think people will start talking about your success will definitely come. Many of us feel success is just like, at once you will get it. But one thing I have realized is success is like this hare and the tortoise story. Many of us want it like the hare, but it is just like the tortoise. It's slow journey. You got to take it one step at a time, and over a period of time is where you can reach the finishing line. So yeah, that is something that I wish to share.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So till now, and it was a really inspiring journey, inspiring story. And also those of you who are looking this, okay, I feel this might have added a value for you. And also you can follow Ruthuparna Sharma in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and whatever it is. Okay, so I'm going to put the link in the description. And also thank you so much for giving your time till now. It was a pleasure meeting you and knowing your story. And I'll be back with yet another inspiring story of inspiring people. So till then, thank you so much.